Good afternoon. Welcome to a special edition of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, episode number 53. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Let's get into it. Um, Usually I'll be on, at night, but I'm on early in the afternoon, my time. So let's get into it quickly. It's not going to be that long of a show. Start with the NBA. Obviously, congrats to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're in the NBA Finals for the first time in 13 years. It's been a decade since when they had Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant and James Harden. And it's great to see them back, man, to do it with a different cast of characters. And Alexander's the best player in the league. He showed that during the series. That's why he was the MVP of the series. And they won in 5 games. They blew out and dominated Minnesota, man. They just do it so well on both ends of the floor, offense, defense, the whole 9 yards, man. He's just a great team and how they play the game of basketball. And they're showing why they had the best record in the league. And they're showing why they was number one in the league for his wins, 68 wins. This is how you're supposed to play. Your 68 win team. This is how you play the game, just like that. Play at that level, and that's where it's at. So when you talk about a dominance of every portions, this is what it was in this game last night. Man, they won 124-94. They do it with defense. Now they got a lot of great defensive players. They got great players that can score. They got great players that can defend. They're a complete team. There's no weakness in this team. When they playing at their game at the highest level, they're unbeatable. That's why going to these NBA finals, they should definitely be the consistent favorite, heavy favorites. Not just slim favorites. Even if Indiana wins tonight and beat the Knicks, I still think Oklahoma City should be a high favorite, a big favorite, because that's how dominant they've been. And that's how you play basketball. You win 68 games, you're supposed to play dominant basketball, and that's what they did. Let's look at the scores. In game one, they won 114-88, 118 at 103. In game two, then they got blown out 143-101. They won a close one, 128 to 126. But they blew the Timberwolves out in a closeout game, 124-94. They handled their business. They did not mess around. They have a killer instinct. 34 points for Shea Alexander. And again, this gentleman don't make an emphasis on shooting threes. He does it the way it's supposed to be done. You know how to get to the free throw line. See how many times he got to the free throw line last night. Okay, he went to the free throw line only 4 times, but he shot only 4 3-point shots. He made two of them. He's 14 to 25 from the field. And 19 points for Jalen Williams, 22 for Holmgren. They have their big three. And I think they're gonna be very dangerous for a long time if they stay with it. They could have a dynasty. But that was just a big win. A great series. Not a great series to watch if you're a casual fan, but this series is just a dominant series by OKC, just better than Minnesota. Anthony Edwards still has a lot left in him. He's a young guy. He's gonna get better. They've been in two conference finals 2 years in a row. But where do they go from here to like make it better? Can they take that next step? That's all it needs to be said. So congrats to OKC Thunder. They in the NBA Finals. They should win that NBA championship. They should be the favorites, heavy favorites, regardless of what Indiana does tonight against the Knicks. They should be the favorites to win the whole thing. OKC, congrats to them. Then you got tonight's game. Can Knicks stave off elimination? They lost 130-121 uh, in Game 4 on Tuesday. Great performance by Halliburton. Virtuoso performance by him. 32 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds. Made history where he did not have a turnover in the process of doing this. He became the first player with such a stat line in the postseason since turnovers were first tracked in 1977, 1978. Um, he joined Nikola Jokic and Oscar Robertson, were the only players to have at least 30 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 rebounds. Excuse me, 15 assists and 10 rebounds and 30 points. So now they're one game away from advancing. I see Pascal Siakam had 30 points, did his thing, and now we're gonna see if they can close out the Knicks. See what happens. But I think Indiana's gonna win the series. They're just a better team. They're just deeper and more talented than the Knicks. So it's as simple as that. Break it down. Got a better coach. Coach is better. Um, Mick Carlisle was a great coach. Man, you look at what he's done. He won a championship with Dallas. We see he was a coach at Detroit. You know, they were pretty good when he was there. So this guy knows how to get it done. He's been a better coach than Thibodeau, and I think they're gonna close out tonight at the Garden. Simple as that. I'll be shocked if this series goes seven. If it goes seven, I'm still going with Indiana because Indiana has have a better team, better roster, better depth. All right, so that's it for that. And else to talk about as far as that's concerned. Both series have not been great. Obviously, when you have a potentially elimination night tonight with Indiana, they win in five. That's not a great series like this past series between OKC and Minnesota was not a great series. It was not. It was not great. It's not a work of art. I mean, it was not dramatic. The only game that was really good was game four, 128 to 126. And that's basically it. But outside of that, man, it was not a great series. And this series between the Knicks has been competitive. It has been competitive. It has been very close, but it has not been a great series. Right, let's get into the baseball. Look at the standings. New York Yankees are in first place. They won five in a row. They're 7 games up in first place. Very mediocre division. Detroit is 37-20. I think they still have the best record in baseball. Yes, they do. 37-20, best record in baseball. 6 games up. Seattle is 30-24. National League is 35-19. First place over the Mets, 2 games up. You got the Cubs, 35-21. You got the Dodgers, 34-22. So right now, Detroit is 37-20. All right, let's get the leaders, stat leaders. And just hitting 391. Otani's hitting 20 home runs. That's the most in baseball. So he's passed Judge, Rowley, and Schwarber and Carroll. He has the most home runs. Suzuki has most runs batted in, 51. Suzuki of Chicago. Judge still has the most hits, 81 hits. Robert Jr. has the most stolen bases, 21. Stuff like that. So that's some of the stats that's going on. Team stats. The Dodgers are number one in hits, I mean batting average. They're hitting 263. The Yankees have the best. They have the best as far as like home runs. They got 88 home runs right now, as far as that's concerned. Cubs got the most RBIs, 322. Cubs got the most hits, 512. 76 stolen bases by Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, they number one in that department, stolen bases, 76. And then you got the Tigers, 37 wins. And ERA is the Mets, 2.87. Right, so that's it for that. Right, let's get into on this day in sports history, things that happened today in sports. Now, obviously, this is the final episode in the month of May. So it's been a fast moving month on this day in sports history for May 29th. Let's get into it. Gonna start with the New York Giants in 1916 won their 17th consecutive road game. Then in 1922, U.S. Supreme Court rules that organized baseball is a sport, not a business, thus not subject to antitrust laws. 1954, on May 29th, British runner Diane Leather becomes the first woman. She became the first woman to run the mile in under 5 minutes. 4 minutes and 59.6 at Alexander Sports Ground in Birmingham, England. To continue on, moving along. 1957, New York City Mayor Robert Wagner says he plans to confer with the Giants and the Dodgers baseball teams about the proposed move to the West Coast. May 29, 1965, American long jumper Ralph Boston sets then world record 27, I think 27 feet, 4.34 inches, 8.35 meters at Modesto, California. 1965, Major League Baseball history here was when Dick Allen, Philadelphia Phillies, hit the 529 feet home run out of Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia. Only home run of Joe Niekro's 20-year career comes off his brother, Phil Niekro, in 1976. In 1980, Larry Bird won the Rookie of the Year. On this date, May 29th, he won the Rookie of the Year. In 1984, the Red Sox, Boston Red Sox, retired the number 9 jersey of Ted Williams and Joe Cronin, number 4. 1987, Robin Ventura set a college baseball record with hits in 57 games, at 57 game hitting streak. In 1989, on May 29th, 1989, Philadelphia Phillies 12-time All-Star third baseman Mike Smith retired from baseball at age 39. 1990, Major League Baseball history, New York Mets fired manager Davey Johnson and hired Bud Harrelson as his replacement. 1990, Ricky Henderson stole 893rd base, breaking Ty Cobb's record. The New York Mets scored in ninth inning to end home shutout streak in 3 games. 1992 on May 29th. I think that's basically it. Was the history. Some of the things that took place on this day. So I'm done for the day. This is a very short show. Be back regular time in June. Be on the lookout for the next article that's coming up real soon. Um, may do a preview of the NBA Finals if it's Oklahoma City and Indiana. I think Indiana's gonna close out tonight. Be on the lookout for that. But I will do like a review of the NBA playoffs like I've been doing so far. But check out the latest article that's on e5280sports.com. Check that out. Be on the lookout for that. Look out for the next content coming as far as my articles are concerned. NBA Finals is gonna be coming up real soon. That's basically it. We do some historical stuff on certain teams from back then. So take it from there. But that's it, man. That's it for today's show. Very condensed, very short show. Just break down what took place in the NBA conference finals. But it's been a very lackluster conference finals because there has not been no drama. No, the OKC just did what they had to do, dominated the series against Minnesota. Minnesota's a team of the future. They're gonna continue to get better. They've been in 2 consecutive NBA Western Conference Finals, but where do they go from here? Where do they go to tweak the team to make it better? Yes, Edwards got to get better. Maybe probably in the post game. His post game is very athletic, but can he get better in the post game? Have a post moves in his footwork. He'll be definitely a more complete player. I get better on defense, stuff like that. But he's just one guy. I'm talking about like as an organization, where do they go from here to make the team better? Where do they go? We shall see. OKC's could be a dynastic team. It could be a team that could be a dynasty. They definitely got all the pieces in place. They got a great coach that's gonna be great. You got Shea Alexander, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren. They have their big three in that kind of way. They're not a super team, but they don't have to rely on anybody else to get them to where they gotta go. They're on 4 wins away from being NBA champions. So, but that series was not a great series though. And this series between the Knicks and the Pacers has not been great. Games have been pretty close, but not classic. Not game 7 type of series. So we might have 2 series that's gonna end in 5 games. It's rare does it happen. Gotta do the research on that. But either way, it's like it's gonna be an OKC Indiana series. Not gonna be, big markets in that NBA finals, but the ratings probably not gonna be good because of that. But there's no conspiracy. I'm saying we have smart markets make it to the finals. Look at the Spurs. Spurs went to the NBA finals a lot. They won 5 championships with Greg Popovich. and they played from a small market. They had a great player, Tim Duncan, but he was not flashy. The big fundamental. So there was no like, oh wow, we're gonna watch the Spurs. Spurs coming on TV, and let's watch them. Their ratings was not that good either. So you gotta live with America. Gotta live with OKC, Indiana. Those are teams that made it, and that's the thing about it. Indiana's a smaller market than New York, obviously, but they're up 3 games to 1 because they got a better team. They got a lot of depth, so it's gonna be very interesting series though. If that's the case, OKC, Indiana, something fresh, something new, something that you never seen before. So see what happens. So but that's it for today's show. Be back next week for episode number 54. This I suppose Rashad Mitchell at nighttime, then this time. And until then, talk to you next time, next week in June. Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter on the platform of Television 5280 Sports and Lifestyles. Until then, talk to you next week.